If you think women only want looks, money, or nice words, you're wrong. Women don't fall for appearances. They fall for energy, for tension, for the power that shakes them inside before they can explain it. The wise and Machiavellian man, the one you will become at the end of the video, will understand that men get fooled by what they see, but women are conquered by what they feel. Attraction isn't a choice. It's instinct. And instinct only follows power. Most men try to break her walls with compliments and gifts. The Machiavellian man looks for the cracks and makes her drop the walls herself. What you're about to learn are not tricks. They're laws. Laws that make her restless when you're gone, hooked when you're near, and unable to deny you. Stay until the end. After this, you won't chase again. You'll become the prize. The man she cannot resist, cannot forget, cannot deny. Let's begin. Here's the first law hidden beneath every woman's attraction. You must master her before she even realizes she wants to be mastered. Every woman walks into an interaction scanning for one thing. Can this man contain me, guide me, dominate me if I push? She may never admit it, but her body betrays the truth. Deep down, she doesn't want equality in desire. She wants polarity. She wants to feel your strength press against her resistance until she gives in. Machiavelli would have advised you, real power is not shown by shouting or chasing. It's shown by the man who remains unshaken while others bend. The same law applies to women. When she tests you, when she challenges you, when she tries to throw you off balance, she's not trying to reject you. She's begging for proof that you can master her. This is why looks fail. Status fails. Gifts fail. None of them answer her primal question. Can you dominate my chaos? If the answer is no, her body closes no matter how handsome you are. If the answer is yes, her body opens no matter how average you look. You must carry yourself like gravity itself. Calm, immovable, undeniable. When she feels that your presence cannot be shaken, something inside her collapses. She stops controlling. She starts following. Not because you begged, but because her biology commands her to. The paradox is this: the man who tries to please her loses her. The man who dares to master her wins her. Attraction is not democracy, it is conquest. And until you understand this, you will remain invisible to the women you desire. Here's the second law you must master. Treat every word, every silence, every look from a woman as part of a psychological chess match. Women test constantly, not out of malice but out of survival. Their instincts are ancient, designed to separate the strong from the weak. That's why every tease, every hush, every delayed reply, every contradiction in her words is not random. It's a probe. She is asking without asking. Can you handle me, or will you collapse under pressure? The weak man answers too quickly. He over-explains, defends himself, tries to prove he's different. And in that instant, his value evaporates. She doesn't feel his words, she feels his need. And once she senses need, attraction dies. The Machiavellian man does the opposite. He anticipates. He knows her moves before she makes them. He treats each test not as an attack, but as an opportunity to tighten control. He never plays defense. He redirects. He keeps her questioning her own tactics until she realizes she's playing on his board. Machiavelli would have commanded you this way. He who fails to read hidden intentions becomes a prisoner of them. But he who sees the game before it's played writes the ending himself. Understand this clearly. Women don't want a man who submits to their tests. They want a man who masters them. Every time you hold frame, every time you stay calm when she provokes, every time you make her chase her own question instead of feeding her answers, you prove the one thing she cannot resist: dominance. Attraction is forged here, in the invisible war of psychology. Fail this test, and nothing else will matter. Pass it, and she won't even know why her body is leaning closer. Here's the third law you must obey. Calm your need to react emotionally, and she will calm her resistance to you. Attraction is not born in comfort. It is born in uncertainty, in tension, in the moments when her body whispers, "I cannot move him." Women are surrounded by men who chase their approval, who light up when they smile, who collapse when they frown. And the more predictable a man becomes, the less she feels. But when a man shows emotional coldness, when he stays steady while she tries to provoke, when he remains calm while she pushes his buttons, something primal awakens inside her. Her body begins to calculate. If I cannot shake him, then he can hold me. If I cannot control him, then maybe I want him to control me. This is not cruelty, it is biology. For thousands of years, women's survival depended on finding a man who would not collapse under pressure, a man who could stand calm while storms raged. Their brain is still wired for this truth. When you show stability, when you refuse to be pulled into drama, when you remain unmoved by her emotional games, you are signaling survival value at the deepest level. Machiavelli would have warned you like this. A prince must never surrender his reason to his emotions, but learn to rule through the emotions of others. When you remain cold, she burns hotter. When you remain calm, she loses control. And here lies the paradox. The colder you stay on the surface, the more heat builds inside her. Because she cannot predict you, she cannot read you, she cannot bend you. That mystery gnaws at her. And instead of breaking you, she starts to break herself, rationalizing, pursuing, escalating just to feel your warmth. The lesson is clear. Your emotional coldness is not a weakness. It is proof of worth. It is the quiet signal that tells her she is dealing with a man she cannot dominate, only surrender to. Here's the fourth law you must embrace. Stop apologizing for being a man, and she will stop resisting being a woman. Every time you dilute your masculinity to appear safer, softer, or more agreeable, you kill the very tension that fuels her desire. Women do not crave another friend. They crave polarity, the sharp edge where her softness meets your solidity, where her chaos collides with your order. Without this polarity, attraction dies instantly. You must occupy space without hesitation. Walk into a room like it belongs to you. Speak with weight, not filler. Hold eye contact until she looks away. Refuse to bend your spine, your opinions, or your energy just to make her comfortable. Because deep down, she does not want comfort. She wants force. She wants to feel the masculine current pressing against her femininity. Machiavelli would have advised you, imitation breeds contempt. Authority is born from standing apart. When you mirror her softness, when you seek her approval by becoming agreeable, she feels nothing. But when you stand unshaken in your masculinity, she feels the pull of gravity itself. Understand this. Women test men not because they hate masculinity, but because they want proof that it is real. They will poke, they will provoke, they will try to soften you, not to destroy your strength, but to confirm it. When you refuse to collapse, when you hold your masculine ground without anger, without apology, you give her the very release she is wired to seek. This is why the man who treats her like a goddess becomes her servant, while the man who treats her like a woman becomes her king. She does not want to be placed on a pedestal. She wants to be pulled into orbit. She does not want imitation. She wants dominance. The brutal truth is this: a woman cannot desire what she can control. She can only desire what she must surrender to. And when you embody unapologetic masculinity, when your presence itself tells her, "I will not bend to you, but I will take you if you follow," her mind resists, but her body obeys. Here's the fifth law you must impose. Deny her full satisfaction, and her desire for you multiplies. Desire is not born from having. It is born from almost having. From touching the edge, then being pulled back. From tasting, but never swallowing. From the tension of frustration that never fully resolves. Most men kill attraction by giving everything too quickly. Too much attention. Too much availability. Too much affection. They confuse giving with bonding, when in truth, giving without measure is the fastest way to become disposable. Machiavelli would have advised you, "He who gives all at once is soon despised. He who withholds wisely is desired without end." A ruler must ration favors to keep men loyal. A seducer must ration satisfaction to keep women craving. Understand this. The female brain is wired for pursuit. The moment she feels she has conquered you completely, her primal system shuts off. Safety replaces tension. Comfort replaces hunger. Boredom replaces obsession. But when you hold back, when you give her glimpses of intimacy, drops of attention, fragments of affection, without ever letting her feel she owns all of you, her desire intensifies. Think of it like fire. Too much oxygen, and it dies. Restrict the flow, and the flames burn hotter. Your job is not to drown her in affection, but to feed her in doses that keep her starving for the next one. This is why the men she obsesses over are not the ones who text back instantly, who answer every call, who give her everything she wants. It's the man who leaves silences, who withdraws at the peak, who makes her wonder what he's thinking when he doesn't reply. That uncertainty is not weakness, it is control. It is the art of shaping her desire without saying a word. Frustration, when controlled, is not cruelty. It is design. It is teaching her body that your presence is a drug and your absence is withdrawal. And once she feels that cycle, relief when you give, hunger when you withhold, her system traps itself. She doesn't want balance anymore. She wants the chaos only you provide. The brutal truth: women don't fantasize about men who make them comfortable. They fantasize about men who leave them restless, unsatisfied, desperate to close the gap. That is why controlled frustration is not just a trick, it is the raw engine of female desire. And once you master it, you no longer chase women. You become the man they chase endlessly, because nothing is more addictive than wanting what is never fully given. Here's the sixth law you must embody. Let her feel both safety and danger in your presence, and she will never escape your pull. Desire is not born from balance. It is born from contradiction. Women are not obsessed with men who are only kind, nor with men who are only dangerous. They are obsessed with the man who carries both in one body, the duality of protector and predator, warmth and shadow, order and chaos. Most men choose one side. The nice guy smothers her with kindness but kills tension. The bad boy triggers excitement but destroys trust. Both are predictable, both are incomplete. But the man who embodies polarity, the one who can make her feel safe with his presence yet tremble with his unpredictability, that man imprints himself into her nervous system. Machiavelli would have urged you, it is far better to be feared and loved if you can hold both. Kings who mastered this balance ruled for life. Men who master it in seduction rule her desire. Understand this. Her primal brain is torn between two needs. She wants protection, but she also wants thrill. She seeks stability, but she also craves danger. She desires the man who could destroy her, but chooses not to. That choice is what makes him irresistible. This is why a woman can adore a man who is calm and nurturing, yet fantasize about the man who unsettles her. The ultimate seducer is both. He is the one who makes her feel safe when she rests her head on his chest, and unsafe when he locks eyes with her and says nothing. The polarity electrifies her system because she cannot categorize him. He is not friend, not enemy, not toy, not servant. He is all of them at once, and that mystery burns. When you embody dark polarity, You give her something no other man dares to, the full spectrum of her own desire. You awaken the part of her that wants to surrender and the part that wants to resist, and you force them to collide. That collision is obsession. The truth is brutal. If she feels only safe, she grows bored. If she feels only danger, she grows afraid. But if she feels both, she is trapped. Because her mind cannot resolve the paradox, her body keeps returning to the man who created it. Dark polarity is not about acting cruel, nor about acting perfect. It is about standing as the man who could break her, but instead bends her into choosing surrender. And once she feels that paradox inside you, she cannot unsee it, cannot forget it, cannot deny it. Here's the seventh and final law you must master. Create tension so sharp it slices into her mind, then refuse to resolve it. Attraction is not built by comfort, nor by certainty. It is built in the space between what she feels and what she cannot have. Every look held too long, every silence that lingers, every touch you almost give but withdraw at the last second, these moments carve themselves into her nervous system. They become the pulse of desire itself. Most men destroy tension the second it appears. They rush to fill silence with words. They break eye contact out of fear. They move too quickly toward physical intimacy, thinking closeness will lock her in. But women are not addicted to what is given. They are addicted to what is withheld. The desire that lingers, the kiss delayed, the moment stretched until her body betrays her. Machiavelli would have reminded you, the unsaid carries more power than the declared. A ruler's silence breeds more fear than his threats. A man's restraint breeds more desire than his advances. Understand this, her body is wired to seek resolution, but when you deny it, her own mind becomes your accomplice. She replays your gaze. She imagines your touch. She fills the silence with fantasies you planted, but never confirmed. And those fantasies are always stronger than anything you could have given outright. Magnetic tension is not about cruelty. It is about mastery. It is showing her the door to release, then stepping back, letting her beg for it. It is the whispered sentence that stops midway, the hand that grazes her skin, then withdraws, the presence so steady that even your absence hums with power. This is why the men who excite her in the moment are forgotten, but the men who leave her restless at night are remembered forever. Because when you master tension, you do not just attract, you invade her imagination. And once you live inside her mind, her body will eventually follow. The brutal truth: tension unresolved becomes obsession, and obsession is the final chain. It binds her not because you gave everything, but because you gave almost everything and left her starving for the rest. By watching the video up to this point, you've become a new man, better equipped than 99% of others. Use this advantage wisely, and your life will truly change. Here's the last truth, stripped of illusions. Women are not conquered by what they see, but by what they cannot escape feeling. The crown you must wear is unseen, yet it weighs heavier than gold. It is forged in your silence, in your restraint, in your power that does not need to be announced. It is the aura of the man who commands without asking, who tests without warning, who awakens desire without touching. The greatest form of control is the one that feels like freedom. She believes she is surrendering by choice, yet every step has been placed before her by your hand. Understand this. Beauty fades, words are forgotten, but energy lingers. If you master the art of presence, of polarity, of unresolved tension, you stop being a man in her eyes and become a force in her world. She cannot label you, cannot measure you, cannot cage you, and that impossibility becomes her obsession. Do not waste your time chasing or begging. Step into the role of gravity itself, the pull she feels but cannot fight, the fire she fears yet cannot abandon, the mystery that haunts her in silence. And let this final echo live inside you. The man she cannot control is the man she cannot deny. If this opened your eyes and you're serious about becoming the man who's in full control of his life, my book is now available. The Undeniable Man, Built to be Chosen. It's a strategic guide for men who want to attract, lead, and dominate in their love life and beyond. Whether you're single or in a relationship, no fluff, no tricks, just pure, powerful strategy that will set you apart from 99% of men, and that you will actually use every day. The link is in the description. And if this video spoke to you, don't just keep your thoughts in your head. Write a comment, even just a few words. It helps you remember these lessons, and it might help someone else too. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this content, and share it with someone who, in your eyes, needs it right now. Just trust your instinct. We're all trying to get clearer, more solid inside. So let's build minds that don't break.